Welcome to the Irresistible You podcast. This is the place to get a dose of empowerment to create the life you crave and deserve. My name is Amy with two E's, and I am the CEO and founder of Irresistible University. Through my podcasting courses, I teach women just like you how to ditch the body image issues, gain confidence, and lose the emotional weight to look and feel irresistible at any size. If you like the podcast, you're going to love the Irresistible You online course and VIP private podcast. And to sign up and enroll, please head over to irresistibleicing.com/course. That link is also in the show notes. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 256. I want to share with you today, we're going to talk about, this falls in line with the Irresistible You guiding principle number 3, which is feed your soul. And it's something that I have been thinking a lot about lately since Chuy's passing. And it came up quite a bit when I was working on some of the Irresistible You personal mini course roadmaps. It came up on those a couple of different times. And so I wanted to talk about Feed Your Soul and just the importance of finding soul snacks. We all need a good soul snack in our life. So I'm going to explain what all that means. But, it's personally come up for me recently. It's been about a month and a half. It was April 4th. So it's been about a month and a half since Chuy, my Chihuahua, passed away. And for those that don't know, he was my ride or die, my shadow. Like, he was with us almost 16. He would have been 16 in June. So he passed just 2 months shy of 15. So for almost 16 years, he was a staple, a constant. Like, he was the most steady, constant being in my life. Obviously I'm very close with my children and my husband, but Chuy was the one that was with me. I'm going to choke up. He was with me more than my human family members. My husband works at night, and when he's at work and the kids have gone to bed, I was never alone because Chuy was right here. There was many times he was sitting behind me in the chair while I was recording or writing something for work, or, when I'm downstairs at night cleaning up the kitchen or watching a movie, he was always there. Like, he was with me everywhere I went in the house. He was with me, and we took him so many places with us as a family as well. So, his passing, his absence, I wasn't expecting to get this choked up today, and this wasn't the point of this episode at all, to get emotional, but it is what it is, and we feel what we feel. That's what we do here. He has left, it's left a huge gap, a huge, empty space in my life. And I have moments where it's still so surreal and hard to believe. It just doesn't feel real. And hopefully I can tell you this without breaking down too much. But this past weekend was the annual Breakthrough T1D walk. So they're formerly known as JDRF. So Breakthrough T1D is a nonprofit organization that raises money and awareness for research for type 1 diabetes. And we are involved with that. And so this year was the walk, which we all did. Chuy was, we didn't get to go last year because of cheer, but the first year that we did the walk together, Chuy was with us. And this year, because it's at the Virginia Beach oceanfront boardwalk, it's dog friendly, of course, and a lot of families bring their dogs. And there were so many dogs, and it was so cute. Whenever I see an animal, even like the squirrels in my yard, I'm just so like, my heart just like wants to see animals because I'm missing that energy in my world, in my life, in my house. And when I see dogs, it doesn't make me sad. It makes me feel happy. And I'm a big animal lover, so I love animals. And oh my God, I did not expect this, you guys. I am so sorry. So we're standing there waiting for the walk, and they've got music and dancing and all kinds of stuff, activities going on. And Javi, out of nowhere, is boo hooing. Not just like, how little kids can be. Like, he had actual big tears streaming down his face. And I said, "What's wrong?" Me and Frank, like, "What's wrong?" And he said, oh my God, you guys. He said, "I just want my Chuy back." He said, "I want my doggy." And because he's in awe of animals. Whenever he sees dogs out, he just, like, he's so excited. And he was looking at all the dogs when he was telling me this. And he's like, "I just want my doggy." And thank God I had sunglasses on, because of course the tears are like running down my face, and I'm like comforting him, and it's like, I miss him too. And it's okay. It's okay to be sad and this and that. So that was just heart-wrenching. Like, I know I shared in the episode about him passing, like, it's heartbreaking enough, but when you have kids that built these bonds with your animals, and all they've known is a life with a dog, with that dog, with Chuy, right? That's all they know. He's been here since they were born. And that's really hard to witness with your children. We all feel his absence. It's very heavy. It's still very loud. The quiet is very loud. And it comes up at the most random times. And I promise you, this is all circling around to feeding your soul. This is why I'm talking about this. So, like, I'm cooking dinner. I was making enchiladas the other night with, I have shredded cheese, and you can't help but the shredded cheese falls on the floor, right, as you're making it. And I never had to clean it up. I never, ever had to. Obviously, I clean and sweep and vacuum all the time. But when Chuy was here, like, I never had to clean up the little crumbs by the stove, because they were gone. They were just taken care of. And especially shredded cheese. And I would always throw an extra handful of shredded cheese on the floor, and he would just go crazy. And I was fine. Like, the other day, I think this was Monday, I was totally fine. And that cheese falling on the floor was just, like, especially dinner time, because we're all together. The kids are in the kitchen. Obviously, Frank is at work. A lot of times he comes home, though, for dinner and eats with us, but he doesn't have a ton of time. But that cheese, so stuffed up now, falling on the floor, all of a sudden, it just, grief it just hits you like a truck. And I just thought about, how much I miss him. And how much, he just had so much personality. Like, for a dog, he had so much personality, and you could always tell what he was feeling on his face. Like, he was just the most expressive dog I've ever seen in my life. And that just hits you, and you realize there's a hole, there's a void in your soul that's just missing. And I noticed it was like a subconscious thing I was doing. And then I started to notice it, that at night, after the kids go to bed, a lot of times I would come downstairs and I would clean the kitchen. I would prep things for the next day. I would just, then maybe just go to the couch and watch a show or play on my phone, or I was with Chuy doing those things, right? I noticed I'll go down there, like, refill my water, maybe get a snack, and I go straight back upstairs. And I was like, why am I doing that? And I was like, it must be, like, it was like a subconscious, reaction of, like, I guess I just don't want to be downstairs at night alone. And there's definitely a void. There's a hole, a void. And they say that time heals everything, right? We always hear that statement. And we all know if we've lost someone, that that's not necessarily true. And I'm finding that it's actually, in a way, it's getting harder. Harder in this sense. The sense that when it first happens and it's fresh and it's raw and it's like, you're just going through the motions almost to get through the days when it happens. And then time marches on. Like literally the afternoon I got home from saying goodbye at the vet, Javi is running through the house, putting pens and markers inside everybody's drink. And it's like, that will snap you right back to reality while you're still, eyes are puffy and you're grieving. But like life keeps marching on no matter who we lose, which it sucks, but it's also, I guess, good in a way because it keeps us moving forward as well as much as we can. But the more time that passes, the more normal, and I use that word loosely, the more normal it's becoming that he's just not physically with us, right? And I don't like that. I don't like how that feels. It's putting more distance. And I don't know if I can even articulate this, but like it's putting more distance between him and us and our family unit. And I know I'll never forget anything, but it's making things more fuzzy, if that makes sense, right? Because it's back in April and beyond, and we're moving forward, right? It's so weird to articulate. And I don't know if you've experienced this, if you've lost someone, but that's kind of how I'm feeling. And a great explanation of this that maybe can make some sense out of what I'm not really making sense, being very clear about. When I vacuum the house, when you have a dog or a cat or any animal with fur, I feel like it's like when you throw a party with glitter, and for the rest of your life when you live in that house, the glitter's been cleaned up, you vacuumed it, it's been put up, but every so often, glitter or confetti, both of those things, or you sometimes see it on the floor, right? Even though it was a long time ago, every so often I'm like, oh my God, there's that piece of confetti. We still have confetti like on the front porch or in the yard. I'm seeing from New Year's Eve where we had one of those confetti bomb things. And even in the house, there's still confetti like in weird, bizarre places, right? Like in rooms that we didn't even do the thing that use the confetti in. And eventually over time, like you keep cleaning and you clean it up, but it's still there. I feel like dog hair is the same way, right? Like once you have dog hair in the house or cat hair, you clean it up, but it's still in little crevices. It is still behind the furniture that you haven't pulled out and vacuumed behind in a year, 2 years, or ever, right? And as I'm vacuuming, every time I have to vacuum every day because I have small kids. And every day as I'm vacuuming, there's less and less of his hair. The fur that used to be so annoying because it was everywhere. And I always in the back of my mind said, one day you'll miss it. One day you're going to miss cleaning all this up. And I do. But it's like, that's a like physical, concrete manifestation of what I'm trying to say, is like that distance that forms between you and the person you lost, right? That distance getting further and further and blurrier from you. And every time I go to vacuum and there's less and less dog hair in the filter, because, there's just, it's like glitter. It literally is like glitter. And there's less and less of it as I clean every day, right? And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, and it just is a reminder of the gap, the void. And even right before he passed, for like the last few months, I kept getting called to do something creative. And yes, in my job, I do creative things, right? I create content. I create podcast episodes. I create graphics for social media. I create reels, TikToks. I create learning experiences for my clients through courses, through learning materials, through workshops. So I'm always, in a way, working on that creative part of my brain. It's what I do for a living. but I've been called to do something more creative in an artsy, fun, not work related, not having a deadline, no one having an expectation of me, but just fun art and crafts. And I'm not an artsy person. I don't think of myself creatively in that way, but it just kept calling to me. And y'all know me, you know I love bling, you know I love glitter, sequins, diamonds, crystals. Like, even my kids know this. Even my son, Javi, will bring in all these like crystal hearts and gems and things he has in his room and puts it on my desk, which is adorable because they know me, and they just, for him to be that young and know me, that's just a core part of me. And I just kept feeling called, but I didn't know what. I don't like messy things. I don't like, but anyway. So I kept feeling like something was calling me to my soul. Like I just wanted to create. And those are the kinds of things that feed our soul, right? Creativity, art, hobbies, whatever it is, it's going to be different for everyone. It's so important to have something that fills you up that's not food. One of the guiding principles in Irresistible You is feed your soul. And we talk about the importance of creating a relationship with yourself, because if you don't have a relationship with yourself, an unconditional loving relationship with yourself, you won't be able to heal the relationship you have with food and emotional eating. And we so often, because we don't have other coping mechanisms, we don't have other things that are feeding our soul, we turn to food, right? We turn to food to fill the gap, to fill the void, to fill up the space to focus on, so we don't have to focus on what's missing from our life. We don't have to focus on the loneliness, the boredom, the grief, the stress, the anxiety, the depression. Meanwhile, it's a vicious cycle, because the more we emotionally eat, and then we gain weight and we feel guilt and we feel awful physically and mentally and emotionally, it just creates that vicious cycle, and we keep doing it to escape the pain of what the food has done to us, which has caused the weight gain and all the mental anguish that comes with it. It's a vicious cycle. So feed your soul is a guiding principle, because if that doesn't exist, you cannot become your best self. You just can't. And one of the things I was thinking about a lot, and we built this into some of the Irresistible You roadmaps this past week, is the importance of having a soul snack. That kind of just came to me, and I love that term, because we have to replace the emotional eating with soul snacks. It doesn't have to be some big sweeping new hobby or event or thing, right? We just need a soul snack. And personally, feeling that calling for something creative, then Chuy passing away, really feeling an emptiness and a void, and something clearly is missing from my life, right? We know that, especially at night, and yeah, there's a million things I can do at night to fill my time that I should be doing, that I need to be doing. Listen, after them kids go to bed, I am spent. I have worked all day. I have mommed all day. I have, mended the emotional weight of motherhood, and having to manage other people's emotions and how they're feeling, especially girls who are 8 going on 9. What in the world is going on? Y'all, if you know, you know. And by the time they go to sleep, I love them to pieces. If you know that about me. But when they go to bed, I just want to be left alone. I don't want to have to do adult things, right? And curling up on the couch, playing a game, or watching a show, hanging out with my dog, that was my jam. I guess that was my soul snack, right? That was my thing. I always joked and said Chuy was my non-official emotional support animal, because anytime I didn't feel good, or I was down or depressed or anxious or whatever, I immediately would feel better just cuddling up with him and hanging out, right? just being in his presence made me feel good. Like, we would be out and about extroverting all day, and I'm like, I just want to go home with my dog. That's all I want to do. And, so anyway, if you've been following me on Instagram and TikTok, you've seen my journey with diamond painting. And I have really just been loving it, like obsessed about it. I decided on Mother's Day, because I was watching videos nonstop on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm just like the ASMR diamond paintings. Love those videos. They're so soothing. And I was like, my mom's been on me for years about diamond painting. Like, she's been trying it out and telling me about it. And my mom is an artist. Like, she will tell you she's not, but no. This woman can paint, sew, quilt, can just like all the artsy things like she can do, and does them beautifully and perfectly and amazingly. And I just never inherited that art gene. I have a niece who's in art school for college right now, incredibly talented. Like, it's just so impressive and mind-blowing, and I am nowhere at their level of any type of art skills at all. But give me a diamond painting, it is so dummy-proof that it's just stupid. It's stupid easy. If you don't know about it, like, you've got this canvas, and it's like paint by number, but with crystals. Okay, like, it couldn't be any more Amy. I don't know anything more Amy, honestly. It's got paint by number, so it's easy. It is beautiful. It's fun. And when my first one that I did, it was this hot pink wooden disco ball. It's on my Instagram if you want to go take a look. And when I first started it, I was like, oh, I should find things that match the house, right? And I'm like, no, that's going to be boring, right? I want to do things that 9-year-old Amy would obsess about. What would I obsess about? Lisa Frank. You know what I'm saying? Hot pink, right? And my office is my little cave in the house where I have the walls in here are the same purple as my podcast. I have glittery shit hanging on the walls. I have all my girly pink crystal diamond bedazzled shit everywhere in here. This is my space. Yes, the kids have their art center in here where they do their work and they do their arts and crafts, but like, this is my little piece of the world. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do fun, just things that would not match anything else in the rest of my home, right? So I finished that one and I was hooked, obsessed. I went out Mother's Day morning and I was like, I'm going to just buy one. I just want to buy something small, see if I like it, and immediately was obsessed. It has done wonders for my anxiety, for my depression, for my grief. Like, I even was reading that therapists are recommending diamond painting because it's such a good, like, it's a soul snack. It's good for your mental health. I don't know if it's the repetitiveness of the sticking, and I just don't worry about things when I'm doing it. It's like for me, kayaking was also that release as well. That's not as easy to just throw everything in the car and hit the water with little kids. We're actually going to start kayaking with them this summer, but it's the same sense of peace that I get from diamond painting. So I went out this week and I got my first canvas one, and it's this obnoxiously loud penguin with neon colors. It's not Lisa Frank, but it looks like Lisa Frank. And I am absolutely obsessed. And I came to the conclusion that I don't care if any of these go on the wall. Like, I'm not going to wallpaper my house in diamond paintings, but I can put them in a portfolio, right? I just like doing them. Whether I hang them up, I don't know. I don't know if I will. He actually might look really cute in the office over the kids' desk and art easel area because it's all bright colors over there. That might look really cute, honestly. We'll see. I'm just having fun being in the moment, which be in the moment is another Irresistible You guiding principle. I've been enjoying it. It's helping me mentally. It's helping me just have that little soul snack in my day of something that I can look forward to doing. and I'll turn on my tablet, put on a good documentary, the crazier the better. Give me all your crazy documentary suggestions, because I don't watch anything. I don't love, like, my husband and we always like joke, because he's going to watch comedy, he's going to watch action, Marvel, he's going to watch like all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, give me the murder, the drugs, give me the weirdest of the weirdest shit that I could watch. I love it. So turning on my tablet, putting on something weird, and diamond painting, I'm in my happy place. I love it. I love it. Obviously the only thing missing is my little guy in my lap or sitting next to me, but it is what it is. And this is the unfortunate part of life, and it just is what it is. But my message to you today is go find a soul snack. Let's stop turning to food. And I will say, with Chuy passing away, it would be so easy for me to eat through my grief, to emotionally just eat through my grief. And I think the old me from many moons ago would have probably done that. But because I've put in the work and I have this framework, the Irresistible You framework, that exists in my world, and I use it and I work through it every single day, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not gaining weight. I'm not overeating. I'm not emotionally eating. I'm feeding my soul in other ways. And that's something that I have really learned how to do over the years that I started this Irresistible You journey. And I want that for you as well. So think about the soul snacks. And sometimes we just have to experiment, right? I didn't have any more diamond painting, and this was in between the disco ball and the penguin. And I had this canvas that's just been sitting here from the dollar store, and I had some pink and purple paint, some glitter, and I just started throwing crap on a canvas. And it came out so beautiful. And I have it now on my desk. It'll be in my next video. You'll see those in my background. But there's no expectation. There's no timeline. There's no deadline of someone waiting for me or expecting things from me. I'm just doing what makes me feel good right now and what makes me happy. And diamond painting is making me extremely happy. Last night I was doing it because this one, it's not small, but it's not so big that I can't like take it on the couch or the bed. And I was on the bed watching Handmaid's Tale, doing my diamond painting, just hanging out. And it was great. I love it. So what does it look like for you? You have to try different things, experiment, explore. But all of this, what it's doing, yes, it's feeding your soul, and it's filling a void that you have in your life. Instead of using food, you're using a new coping skill. But what you're also doing is you're learning about you. You're creating a relationship with yourself. It's like dating yourself, right? Go to a cooking class, go to a painting class, go to a crafting class, go to something, right? Go and do something. And if you don't like it the first time you do it, okay, try something new. You don't have to make that commitment. And that's kind of where I'm at with diamond painting. Like, I can be hyper fixated on things. I just can't. And I'm obsessed. Like I have completely fallen into obsession and love with diamond painting. So I know I will be buying all the beautiful, cool, extra things that you don't really need, but you kind of have to have you don't need them. But you don't have to do that in the beginning, right? And I'm not doing that right now. I'm just keeping it simple and be like, okay, what do I like about this? I like this part. This would make it easier, before I just completely hyper fixate on things and then I burn out, a month from now. I don't want that to happen because I really enjoy this. So find your soul snack. That's the takeaway today. If you want to explore even further into those guiding principles and have this framework in your life, I cannot suggest enough to you that it would benefit you greatly to enroll in my online course. My online course is self-study at your own pace. You could sit there with it on your phone or on your tablet while you diamond paint or you do something that you want to do. You can put the videos on and watch them and listen. you can also, this is a new feature for this year, you can also listen to it via podcast. So when you enroll into the program, you get access to my private podcast. That is every single video that was in the course, that is in the course. I turn it into an audio that is in a podcast. So you start at the beginning of the podcast and work your way through it to the very end of the course. That is so great for on the go, multitasking. Audio is an amazing way to learn. It turns on different things in our brain that allows us to cement the learning a lot faster and a lot easier. And I would love for you to be part of that community. So if that's something you're interested in, head over on to irresistibleicing.com/course. That will give you all the details. That will give you some testimonials. Don't just take it from me. You can read my students' testimonials. There are some videos on there. If you have questions, reach out to me on Instagram at irresistibleicing, or you can shoot me an email as always. And I would love to have you there. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Make sure you leave a rating and review for the podcast. That helps other women find our little irresistible slice of the internet over here and join our community. I will catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay irresistible. Bye, guys.